Thank you for joining this demonstration showcasing the latest enhancements to Juniper's AI-native campus and branch solutions for managed services. Let's get started. Every connection counts. Nearly every vital experience of modern-day life requires a strong network connection. This has never been more true than it is today. But network experiences are fundamentally broken, and with that, the challenges for service providers have never been greater, with increased competition, complex architectures, margin dilution, and a growing resource gap, just to name a few. We need a different approach. At Juniper, we believe that connectivity is not the same as experiencing a great connection. When you shift from simply measuring connectivity to instead focus on the experience of the end-to-end connection, everything changes. A new vision of networking and a new vision of managed services becomes possible. Only Juniper takes an experience-first approach. It solves for the challenges that providers and end users experience today, and we achieve it by embedding real AI into everything we do. We call it AI-native networking. And only Juniper delivers it through the industry's first and only AI-native campus and branch solutions for managed services. Before we take a look at the first use case, I think it's important to understand what sets Juniper apart from the rest of the industry when it comes to AI. The first is that we have the right data, both quality and in quantity. We collect rich, relevant, real-time telemetry data from all of the network devices, the APs, switches, routers, the clients, and the sessions that bind them. But anyone can collect data. Assuring that the data is accurate is essential to how effective and impactful the AI can be. And Juniper has been leading the way in AI ML for networking for 9+ years, enabling more capabilities with higher accuracy. But in order to process all of this data, you need the right infrastructure, a modern elastic microservices cloud that provides compute power needed for AI and ML and scalable networks. But you also need an open API ecosystem that extends end-to-end assurance beyond the network to applications and services. You need robust, high-performing hardware, software, operating system, and architecture built to sustainably handle those workloads now and into the future. And in order to turn that data into usable insight, you need the right real-time intelligence and tools. A conversational interface, a virtual network assistant with self-driving actions, transforms managed services. Proactive root cause analysis and client-level visibility drastically reduce mean time to repair and lower OPEX. All of which we'll take a closer look at here today as it relates to our campus and branch solutions for managed services. Campus and branch solutions are one of the cornerstones of the Juniper Enterprise portfolio. It started with the wireless solution that came from the Mist acquisition about 5 years ago, where we brought the notion of AI and cloud into Juniper and leveraging some of those systems for better Wi-Fi connectivity and better mobility. Shortly after that, we added wired access to the Mist cloud and brought the EX portfolio in so wired connectivity gets all the same actions and benefits to ensure the best connectivity. So let's start by taking a look at a real-life example in one of our key verticals, higher education, and how Mist addresses current challenges faced by service providers to streamline deployments, reducing time and cost to serve. The first demo we're going to take a look at is the ServiceNow integration into the Mist cloud. ServiceNow and Juniper Mist have come together to help automate the entire fulfillment lifecycle from order to configuration and shipment with very little to no human intervention. This is really important for a lot of providers. Quickly fulfilling a multiple solution deal can be a costly and inefficient process. There's lots of moving pieces with lots of manual processes. The Mist and ServiceNow integration unlocks huge potential for service providers to reduce costs, improve time to market, and deliver new capabilities in a fraction of the time compared to traditional integrations. The process for day 0 and day 1 was already drastically streamlined with the Mist cloud, which uses repeatable and scalable configuration templates across the full stack of wired, wireless, and SD-WAN using zero-touch provisioning as well. But ServiceNow integration takes that to the next level and simplifies the process even further for providers. Full automation is achieved via preset workflows, templates, and API calls, and is entirely possible because of Mist's 100% open API architecture, which you will continue to see throughout this presentation as a reoccurring theme as providers look to Juniper to simplify their environments, streamline processes, and integrate all parts of the business. ServiceNow takes in customer-provided data about site location and selected SKUs and quickly begins to fire off automated workflows, including the deployment process steps in Mist. ServiceNow takes the validated workflows and delivers the information to Mist and executing site creation, configuration template selection, and appliance claiming, again in an entirely automated fashion. What you're seeing is the entire fulfillment lifecycle being automated through ServiceNow. It starts with preset full-stack configuration templates, but an empty inventory of devices, and matures to a fully configured site with claimed devices ready to be plugged in to download all the pre-configurations, all without any human intervention. This integration of ServiceNow and Mist demonstrates how provider operations are dramatically simplified. Reducing manual entry through automation, shipment and deployment mistakes are reduced, lead time to cache is optimized, and customer expectations are consistently fulfilled, leading to optimized revenues and more loyal customers. Now that the devices are ready for deployment, let's take a closer look at how real AI can be used to speed time to revenue and further reduce operational expenditures. Juniper recently announced significant advancements to Wi-Fi assurance capabilities. Automatic placement and orientation for Juniper Mist access points. AP placement and orientation can seamlessly identify Juniper AP locations on floor plans and automatically adjust their orientation using the capabilities of the embedded location services. This is important because plans don't often match the actual deployment, and that traditionally requires human intervention to verify AP placements, which can be costly, lengthy, and leave the network with subpar performance. Powered by machine learning, Juniper directional Bluetooth antenna arrays, and Mist AI, it enhances fine time measurement and round-trip time-based ranging. We're not replacing existing solutions like a cow or Hamana, but rather complement them with real-world measurements that use AI and ML to optimize placement and orientation. Mist quickly calls out when the deployment doesn't match the plan, as is the case here, and APs may have been swapped. It will also additionally audit coverage holes in the Wi-Fi environment. Customers and their users are rewarded with improved Wi-Fi coverage and performance in more accurate location services. But service providers are rewarded with faster deployment times, lead time to cache, and greater customer loyalty. This is a real customer use case where 2,000 APs were installed in dorm rooms in just under 2 days, with a 10x reduction in ticket escalation. Real-time monitoring of the client experience is performed with Wi-Fi assurance, measuring well over 100 different states of the network and displaying them as customizable service level expectations, or SLEs, to help providers anticipate disruptions to the user experience and then rapidly assess the root cause to minimize mean time to repair. In this case, after deployment, Mist picked up something affecting the security service. Let's take a closer look. This is Marvis Actions. It's truly the beginning of a self-driving network. Marvis Actions is the proactive side of Marvis and represents a morning cup of coffee view into high-impact issues and recommendations for operators to take on the network to improve user experiences across the wireless, wired, SD-WAN, and most recently, data center network. Marvis can identify issues in the wireless network, such as bad cables, authentication errors, or issues with the device itself, such as an offline AP, older firmware, and coverage holes. In the switching environment, Marvis Actions quickly points out missing VLANs, a notoriously difficult issue to pinpoint, which was the issue here. But it also identifies negotiation mismatches, loops, port flaps, and high CPU utilization. In the WAN, it identifies things like an MTU mismatch, bad uplinks, VPN, and device issues that can be identified with suggested actions to resolve the issue. And with the Marvis chatbot feature that uses natural language to process requests, providers can drill even further into the issue to perhaps quickly locate the affected AP, sort and track down critical events on a timeline, and download the automated packet capture to review the forensic evidence. A little later in this demonstration, we'll also show how Marvis Minis takes this proactiveness to a whole new level by simulating users on the network with our digital experience twin. But for now, the issue is resolved and the experience is upheld without issuing another truck roll. So before we move to our next use case, I think it's also worth calling out how economically advantageous Juniper's integrated indoor location services can be for providers looking to add new revenue streams into their business. You probably know that Juniper is the leader among leaders in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for wired and wireless infrastructure. But did you know we're also the only networking vendor who's also a leader in the indoor location MQ? Yes, it's true. You can deliver another industry-leading solution to your customers without adding the complexity of additional hardware or software. Uses for this solution exist in a wide variety of industries such as in higher ed, healthcare, retail, and more, all to improve digital engagement, to rapidly track down critical assets, and to better understand workflow metrics. Ask your representative to learn more. So let's just quickly summarize what we've seen in our first use case with some real numbers. Service providers today have used AI-native campus and branch solutions to reduce their time to deploy by as much as 75%, and they've cut their cost to serve in half. In one enterprise example, Dartmouth College deployed their campus 9 times faster than in the past. And with integrated indoor location, providers can unlock new revenue streams and expand addressable markets. The next use case takes a closer look at how Juniper's AI-native campus and branch solutions help service providers address economies of scale, as well as deliver end-to-end assurance. It features the benefits of Juniper's tunnel-free SD-WAN, as well as integrations for Cradlepoint, SASE, as well as Teams and Zoom. Juniper Mist now gives insight into Cradlepoint wireless WAN devices for end-to-end visibility in a 5G and mobility use case. By leveraging our 100% open API architecture with Cradlepoint NetCloud, Mist can now give visibility into what SIMs are populated on the Cradlepoint devices, MAC addresses, connection status of the device, IP address information, and things like when the last config change was made. On the LAN side, you get pass-through information, including service type and data usage, and even more detailed information on the SIM updated in near real time. Cellular edge events give you a consolidated view of key events that you've specified for an alert. Integrating 5G wireless WAN into a managed service offering comes with many benefits, such as diversification of WAN connections, faster time to service, and enhanced application performance. But let's take a closer look at how Mist helps service providers consolidate processes further for customers who are looking for next-generation security architectures like SASE. With secure edge connectors in Mist WAN Assurance, service providers can quickly connect their end customers with the preferred vendor for Cloud-Based Security Service Edge, or SSE. Whether that solution is Juniper Secure Edge with functionality for Firewall as a Service, Secure Web Gateway, Cloud Access Security Broker, or ZTNA, Zscaler, or another third-party provider, Juniper offers a simple, flexible, and secure solution. Setup is intuitive and can all be completed from the same dashboard and allows you to construct the right policy for the customer and apply it as such. WAN Edge Insights in Mist gives you full visibility into the performance of these connections, including path status, protocol, and uptime. So in this use case, our service provider has a healthcare customer with a mobile unit. They're using Cradlepoint 5G wireless WAN devices that are now visible in Mist, with backup connectivity provided by Juniper's Session Smart Router with LTE, and also utilize satellite connectivity. They require high-quality connectivity back to the data center, as well as high-performing internet breakout. So of course, one of the biggest benefits of an SD-WAN architecture is failover, as well as multipath routing. And Juniper has a very unique way of delivering failover in a way that it is absolutely instantaneous. Whereas an IPsec tunnel might take a few seconds, sometimes 3, 5, or even 10 seconds or greater to reestablish, Juniper's SD-WAN is tunnel-free and doesn't have to reestablish that tunnel. And so when it comes to the user experience, it's that much better. The way Juniper is able to accomplish this is with a session-based approach to SD-WAN, and it's called Session Smart Networking. Among other things, it also delivers rich application visibility, which allows you to make fine-grained policies per application to ensure the user experience is upheld in the best way possible. And oh, by the way, being tunnel-free saves as much as 30 to 50% in bandwidth utilization, which is another added benefit. And what you're seeing here is the rich application data visualized in Mist by application and by policy. It's simple to segment and create dashboards for the applications you specifically want to track. For instance, Zoom and Teams, which have been natively integrated into Mist to help understand, correlate, and predict the quality of those applications at any given moment. In addition to application visibility, WAN Assurance also provides detailed status into devices including CPU utilization, bandwidth consumption by port, as well as peer path statistics. With issues resolved for now, it may be useful to do a little bit more digging into the root cause of the issue. To make operations even more simple for providers who may be on the go or looking to minimize tool sprawl, Marvis is now integrated into Teams for more seamless troubleshooting. With this integration, users get all the benefits they've come to expect from the industry's first conversational AI assistant, such as the natural language processing and instantaneous root cause analysis, but also get all of the recent LLM and ChatGPT integrations that allow users to access things like setup and configuration explanations, as well as other helpful documentations. Without ever having to enter the Mist portal, admins can quickly pinpoint the particular issue down to the individual user and timeframe on the network, and then isolate it down to the domain, whether wired, wireless, WAN, or the application itself, with an easy-to-identify visualization. Marvis Teams Integration provides detailed information and provides a jumping-off point for a deeper dive in the Mist portal, if warranted. This is just another way Mist helps service providers to address growing skills gaps and scale efforts to minimize operational times and associated costs. There is plenty of evidence of the positive impacts Juniper's AI-native campus and branch solutions for managed services can have for service providers. ACG Research has calculated the 5-year operational expenditure savings by as much as 87% with Mist. Enterprises such as ServiceNow have seen a staggering 90% reduction in network-related trouble tickets, and retailers like The Gap have reduced truck rolls to stores by as much as 85%. So, for this final use case, we're going to look at how AI-native campus and branch solutions from Juniper can help service providers quickly and easily up and cross-sell across the full stack to drive margin and revenue. In this segment, we'll cover Juniper's cloud migration advantages, as well as showcase demonstrations of Marvis Minis, wired assurance, and access assurance. In this real-life example, like many end customers, they want to embrace the cloud and simplify operations, but they're confined by their legacy architectures. They at the same time need to cut costs and deal with a growing resource gap. They're suffering daily outages, and their current network can't scale to meet the needs of their constituency. One of the biggest selling points and differentiators of the AI-native campus and branch solutions is the transformational nature of the Microservices cloud architecture. Not only does this architecture provide the basis of the AI-native platform to process all of the rich telemetry data, it's what makes real-time insights possible, as well as the ability to deliver updates to the network with zero downtime. It's a critical advantage over other vendors. With the right modern branch infrastructure now in place, this customer experienced a rapid cloud migration for increased agility and an improved user experience. In fact, with Juniper's Session Smart Networking, customers have improved migration times by as much as 6 times. One of the most exciting enhancements in Mist was the recent launch of Marvis Minis. Marvis Minis is the first AI-native digital experience twin and proactively simulates user experience to instantly validate network configurations and find and detect problems without users being present on the network. Minis proactively test that DHCP, ARP, DNS, and application connectivity are successful, which can be remarkably helpful to identify misconfigurations in site expansions, cutovers, and upgrades. Through Wi-Fi assurance, where you would typically get better insight into the user experience in real time, you can now also visualize the work that Minis is performing and see what's tested even when users are not present at all. When Marvis Minis do identify an issue, Marvis Actions creates a recommended action and also initiates an automated packet capture, eliminating even more manual processes. This important enhancement allows service providers to unlock yet another level of proactiveness to simplify operations further, uphold those critical SLAs, and ensure the exceptional user experiences for their customers they've come to expect. Most importantly, it helps to reduce costly errors that impact the cost to serve. Let's move on to wired assurance. Juniper Mist Wired Assurance brings cloud management and AI ops to campus fabrics. With wired assurance, you can configure sites and switches using templates and port profiles, and once enabled, get consistent visibility into performance at a granular level. Inventory of switches and wired devices is provided in a list, topology, or location view. Wired assurance ensures optimal network operations with key health metrics such as switch firmware compliance, switch AP affinity, PoE compliance, and missing VLANs. These metrics are available for multi-vendor wired environments across third-party switches. In the management interface, when admins hover over switch ports, status details pop up about wired clients, access points, and connectivity, such as connectivity speed, PoE status, and throughput. You can also see metrics down to the port level, including bytes transferred, traffic utilization, and power draw. You'll receive performance series data and real-time status data for connected endpoints. With Switch Insights, you'll know exactly how Juniper EX and QFX switches are performing. You'll get detailed device-level switch metrics and insights such as CPU, memory utilization, and virtual chassis status. Meeting Insights is where you can visualize the recent integration of Microsoft Teams and Zoom. Call quality data is ingested into the Mist AI engine for correlation and is used to help improve and predict better experiences. The service level expectations, or SLEs, for wired assurance enforce throughput, successful connects, and switch health with pre- and post-connection performance metrics. Pre-connection shows the number and time of successful connects and authentication, while post-connection measures throughput and detects STP loops, interface errors, and congestion, all in a single dashboard. These SLEs help to measure and manage networks for simplified troubleshooting and proactive anomaly detection. However, you can further troubleshoot by drilling down into classifiers and subclassifiers to identify root cause issues all the way into affected items such as VLANs and clients. Wired assurance helps service providers by reducing campus deployment times and mean time to repair, while simplifying operations across the switch network. For this real-life customer, it was a rapid rebuild of their entire campus and branch over a single weekend, with minimal impact to the business. With AI-native campus and branch solutions, they now have a more responsive network with 100% network availability, and they've seen a 95% reduction in network-related trouble tickets. They were even able to offer free Wi-Fi at parks and recreation facilities. In the end, their IT leaders said they did not have to worry about their network anymore. So let's shift gears a little bit and focus on another way service providers can increase margins by adding additional cloud subscriptions. Mist recently integrated a cloud-based network access control solution, or NAC, into its offering. It's called Access Assurance. With a cloud-based NAC, providers can quickly and easily add another revenue stream without adding the complexity of additional hardware, while also delivering end customers a secure solution. Network access control is historically burdensome, but with the recent integration of a cloud-based NAC into Mist, this is a service you can begin to deliver, adding margin while alleviating operator stress with greater visibility from end to end. In the past, without end-to-end visibility, you just had the network point of view. And because you don't control the other side of the authentication process, you don't really know what's happening there. So what we've done is we've now extended the NAC authentication visibility into the Mist cloud, and we can now say exactly what's happened and get better visualization and simpler control of organization-wide policy. The result is a much more scalable solution, easily deployed and managed by providers. To summarize this final case study, the customer transformed their network with a microservices architecture that delivered 100% uptimes. Providers saw improved loyalty and lower OPEX. It was a one-stop shop for an entire full stack of industry-leading solutions for wired, wireless, and WAN, and the portfolio features additional cross-sell, upsell opportunities with additional revenue streams for NAC, network access control, and indoor location. Thank you for taking the opportunity to see some of the latest enhancements to the Juniper portfolio of AI-native campus and branch solutions for managed services. Juniper's managed services deliver the most predictable, reliable, and measurable user experiences with the lowest total cost of ownership and OPEX. Here are some of the customer use cases we discussed in this demonstration. You can scan the QR codes to learn more. Juniper's AI-native campus and branch features a full stack of wired, wireless, SD-WAN, indoor location, and NAC, all under a common AI engine and cloud. If you'd like to learn more, please visit juniper.net or contact your Juniper representative today. Thank you.